Hi, I'm Carolyn, and this is the second installment in a series of video essays analyzing the cinematography of Harry Potter. If you haven't seen the first one, click here to watch. At first, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets may seem like a cardboard cutout of the first movie, but look closer and we can see a definite shift. Chris Columbus returns as director, but the DP is now Roger Pratt, who worked on the original Batman movie and 102 Dalmatians. Which I guess prepped him for filming dozens of loud, furry animals wriggling everywhere. Chamber of Secrets switches it up in how shots are filmed and has a slight tonal shift, besides Harry's voice dropping half an octave. One of the first things I noticed upon starting research for this video essay were the very subtle camera bobs. As Dobby is speaking, we can see the camera shift slightly. These very faint movements add realism to a scene which has extensive CGI. Let's back up to the beginning of this scene. Harry enters the room and an unsubtle handheld runs up to greet him, emphasizing his surprise. It may seem like he underreacted, but remember that right before summer started, this kid had the spirit of Voldemort fly directly through his torso. Okay, so Harry sees Dobby jumping up and down on his bed, the camera following him as he bounces. Dobby notices him and the camera quickly zooms to the house elf. Long shot so that Harry and the audience can take this situation in. Some medium to medium close-up dialogue ensues so that we can see the characters and their reactions to each other. When Dobby is overcome with emotion at Harry's decency, we see the reactions simultaneously, allowing us to empathize with Harry in this what the heck do I do situation. The next two solo shots are angled similarly to how they would be looking at each other, which strengthens the sense of interaction. These are old techniques, but all the more vital when one of the characters is computer generated. In contrast, the quiet business lunch downstairs is more static and brightly lit. Normal versus magical. The entire film has a more organic approach when it comes to the shots, making each one feel a bit more alive. Along with catching character reactions, Chamber of Secrets is fond of zooming into various places. After we see the glistening movie title, we zoom through Little Winging into Harry's window. We see him looking at the same book that Hagrid gave him at the end of Sorcerer's Stone. From the close-up, we can see that his hunger for a family has not gone away. The zoom is used again as a transition from the exterior of Hogwarts into Professor Sprout's greenhouse. This is the first class that we see in Chamber of Secrets, and this type of introduction pulls us into the school once more. The camera circles around Professor Sprout as she greets the class, and then cuts to a long shot of Hermione with familiar faces peering behind her. This instills in the audience a sense of nostalgia and place. Next, the tilts. Chamber of Secrets is the first Harry Potter movie to implement Harry's inner thoughts into the camera work. We see this when he first hears the basilisk's voice during detention and when Tom Riddle describes Ginny's misdeeds. Basically, when Harry gets the creeps, so does the camera. The tilts add tension to scenes and make you hold your breath. The framing is being adjusted in shot, so our eyes don't know what could be coming next. Tom's sepia flashback sequence is cold and lifeless, reflecting the gravity of the situation and the nature of young Voldy. The tone of Chamber of Secrets overall is darker than in Sorcerer's Stone. The warmth that saturated the first film is eased off, replaced with a cooler, more Air of Slytherin palette. There is also greater complexity to the color. Compare these two Forbidden Forest scenes. The first film's is very blue and foggy, almost dreamlike. Personally, I like both methods of expressing color. I think that Sorcerer's Stone cements these kinds of thematic elements in such a way that is very mythical, while Chamber of Secrets' more conventional yet nuanced approach is indicative of the character's growth and shift in subject matter. According to Metacritic, the response to this movie was about the same level of positivity as the last, though probably for different reasons. Again, many were dissatisfied with the book-to-movie transition, though this is the last one anyone could claim is too faithful. Some felt that Chamber of Secrets was too long. I think that, again, good story requires proper setup. This scene, for example, of Professor McGonagall detailing the Chamber's dark history, highlights the student's vulnerability. With all this extra time, did the movie invest in more spectacle like critic Elvis Mitchell wanted? The CGI, like Columbus said, is better. Dobby and the Basilisk both sport incredible amounts of detail. No, I don't think spectacle is necessary. I believe they did just the right amount to give the action sequences a real sense of danger. They also kept going the sense of wonder that the magic of the wizarding world brings, though some scenes are more convincing than others. Chamber of Secrets has a more active camera than Sorcerer's Stone. I believe that part of the reason it's able to do this is because its predecessor set the characters up so well. One of the most impactful shots happens at the end of the film when Harry and Lucius have their stare-off. Lucius's eyes are menacingly highlighted like in the original Dracula movie. This choice emphasizes his villain status. The rest of his face is shrouded in darkness just like his intentions. The movie builds upon its prequel and cinematic history to produce a film that holds up to the test of time, arguably better than the first. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is shifty, darker, and takes stylistic liberties, like a certain professor we know. Leave a comment below telling me your favorite things about the cinematography in this movie. Thanks for watching.